Hello guys, I'm Chef Olive from Kitchen on Fire. I don't know where I'm going to keep, but so we are here in Berkeley, California. Berkeley is next to San Francisco. I'm sure you know that. But this is the place. It's called the Gourmet Ghetto. It's right next door to Chez Panisse, across from Cheeseboard. And Kitchen on Fire is a cooking school. We do lots of classes, and one of them is knife skill. So I got those beautiful knife. These guys, they sent it to me by mail, and they forgot to tell me it was sharp. So, no. All right, so I'm going to start cutting stuff. Yeah, cool. The knife is very nice. I just got it a few days ago. Sorry. And what I appreciate about this knife is it forces me to get the grip, which is really one of the key elements for cutting. You can't grab the knife too far, because once you have your hands a little bit wet or anything, that knife is traveling way too much in your hand. This is a really bad idea also. Okay, this is sergeant cut for little guys. But the big one is very uncomfortable, and I have no grip, and it's very dangerous actually. So if I cut like this, you notice that the finger is completely bent, and it's going to pull my nerve. So it's really not comfortable at all. This is the best way to hold a knife. It's very comfortable, and I can do my rocking motion. I can pull just like this, and you notice the distance to the board. My arm is a little bit curved, and I'm always cutting. My arm is like, 45 degrees here, 45 degrees. I don't like to cut like this. Some chefs do that. That's okay. You can do whatever you want. You have that line. I think it's uncomfortable. I don't think that's a good idea. You can do whatever though. I like to be right in front of me. That means everything is going to be angled. So if I cut a zucchini, it's not going to cut like this. I'm going to cut like this, and I'm going to go around. I'm going to show you the left hand. I'm going to show you the right hand. So first of all, we're going to cut all these guys, and I want to point something out first before we start. You always want to buy the best vegetable and fruit possible, and something that has to always look good. This is important. All those veggies are alive. What it means is, if I put that into a bag, I'm going to see moisture. So that means they're breathing. And the reason why I want to say this is because the cutting is going to be important for that part. If I cut them, if I destroy everything in there, I'm destroying the cell wall, and I lose a lot of nutrients, and then the vegetables don't look very good, and the cooking is very terrible. The reason why we have knife skill on the first class at Kitchen on Fire when I do my 12 weeks is because it doesn't matter how much or how big you want to cut the stuff. It has to be even, that's all. So I'm going to start with the onion, because the onion is the most feared vegetable in the world. Okay, it's very mean too, makes you cry. The key is to have a sharp knife or a very thin blade. So this one is a thin blade. It's very cool because it's going to go right into my onion, no problem. I'm going to start by holding my knife, just like I showed you with the grip. The left hand is really important. The left hand has to be like a claw. And you notice something, that my fingers are tucked in. That means when my blade is falling, my fingers are away from it. And this is how I'm not going to cut myself. And the idea is I have to get my knife on my knuckle, so I know exactly what a knife is. I can't just start cutting and bring my hand to this. It's not good. I have to feel the knife and then cut. So this takes you some time. It will take some time for you to get used to it, but that's the way it works. So let me give you a quick example. If I take a piece of celery, and I want to cut, I'm going to get to my hand, and then I'm going to slice. Same here, hand. So I'm against my fingers, and I'm slicing. Okay? So I'm going to show you my onion. First of all, when you do knife, I have my bowls here to put my items in there once they're cut. This is called mise en place. This is a restaurant term. This is really important if you want to cook correctly, because basically what's happening is when I'm done cutting, my knife goes away, everything is cleaned up. And in a restaurant, you don't see a chef cutting. If you see a chef cutting while they're in the service, someone is going to get fired. The prep was not done properly. All right, onion. This guy is wobbly, goes everywhere. So I'm going to go and I'm going to put my blade in there, and then I'm going to stop. I need to secure that onion. I'm going to go and create a bridge with my hand, hold the onions, and you see I'm pushing the back of the blade. Now I can push down safe. Cool? Now I'm going to keep the root attached to the onions. Okay, the root is the hair. I'm going to remove the stem. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple of cuts on this guy. First is the diced onion. For this, I need to go to the edge of my board, and I'm going to show you why my thumb is on it. It's going to do a lot of work here. So I'm going to go to the edge of my board, about the size of the blade, because the handle needs to be away from the board. You see, if I cut horizontal here, I have a gap, I can't cut. But if I go here, it's perfectly smooth and flat. So I'm going to remove that stem, about a quarter. Now I can peel very easily. I'm going to remove whatever is not pretty. Okay? You peel until it's pretty. Now the onions have to work really fast. If you want to have no crying happening, you need a sharp knife and you need a cold onion. Okay? Because once I go through that, I'm going to create a gas, and heavy gas or cold gas, sorry, are heavy. They're going to stay here. If the onion is warm, it's going to go to my eye. So the colder they are, the better they are. Now I'm going to start slicing, and a lot of chefs are going to work with their hand here, which is really good. I want you first to do your hand like this as a close so you can actually see what's going on. Flat hand is great because it prevents you from cutting, but I can't see what's happening. So I'm going to start to slice in without forcing. You see what I'm doing? And now the idea is I don't go past the root. So I'm going to do the same again. Very slow. In a sewing motion, I'm not forcing. I'm always slicing. Okay? Now I have a bunch of wedges cut, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back to my board on top of the onion, slice down, not past the root. And what's happening now is I have a bunch of sticks. You see? Awesome. And all I need to do to get my dice is run my knife as a slicer, and I get my cubes. I'm done. This is my pickup. Okay? This is a bench scraper, and the idea is you have all those little balls like I showed you, and you dump your onions with the bench scraper. Do not use your blade to pick up your food. You can do that if you want to, but I tell you, you need a tool like this because you want to keep that blade really nice and sharp. If you want to finish that onion, you can always go around and dump this. When I do my cutting, I always have a wet towel next to me, and the way to cut, to clean my knife, is to put the blade away from me, close. I'm going to pull. My knife is clean, and I can go back again. Cool. I'm going to show you another cut for the onion that's really cool. It's called julienne. Julienne is also a stick, little stick. So if I want to do fajitas, pretty. Remove the stem the same exact way. Get rid of the skin. And now what I'm going to cut is I'm going to cut radial cut. Basically, I'm going to cut, this is my middle. So the blade, it's going to change the angle every time. Can you see that? So basically, the angle changes every time so it ends up in the center. The tip of the blade does not pass the root. I'm going to start. Go down, change the angle, right in the middle. I'm going to go around. Now I have no more grip. I'm just going to switch my hand, and that's all I need to do. And now I'm just going to remove the stem, the root now. And now I have a bunch of sticks together that are all the same size, you see? And that's how you do that. Cool? I'm going to clean my knife again. Away from me. That towel is always folded. Okay? And my bench scraper is going to pick up all the stuff that I don't need. Cool. Let's go into, I'm going to mix those, even though in a normal cooking I would not, but then I'm just not going to use those guys. Okay, cool. Bell pepper. The bell pepper, I like to cut them and not make a mess on my table everywhere because I'm on camera. If not, I don't care about the mess. But today we do care. The best thing to do is this. This is always flat. This is always weird. And by the way, the 3 and the 4 is not male and female. This is a stupid food myth. But 4 and 3 will give you the amount of wedges that you can make. So because this is always flat, I'm just going to get that out. And if I wanted to roast them, all I need to do is put them just like this on a sheet tray and go in the oven, and I have a nice roasting going on. Today we're going to remove the bottom just enough to make it stable. That's all we need to do. Okay? Now I'm going to pick up this thing, and all I need to do is go cut that guy about here. I don't know if you can see that. I don't want to cut too close to the core. I want to go exactly on the top of the heel right here. So you see what's happening? I can pull. See that? And now it's clean. I don't have to worry about a mess on my table. If I wanted to clean up that little white part, which is just white cellulose, it's not very cool on the food, I can just go to the edge of my board again, same distance as before, and I'm going to put my hand, and you see, I'm going to start to push down with my finger, and I'm going to sew, and look what's happening. Gone. I can do the same thing again. Go. And then remove my hand. And then keep sewing. I'm pushing down on my blade. And this is why I can get this guy. This is very tough, even for a good knife like this. So I'm going to go in the meat where it's soft. I'm going to pull. And you see when I pull, there's one angle only. And I'm just going to pull just like this. If I want to make a dice, okay, cool. Now, you've seen me doing 2 motions. One is forward, and one is pull. Those are my 2 motions that I use mostly. And the last one I'm going to show you is chopping. Now, as you develop your skills, you're going to realize that you like something better and whatever. It doesn't matter. You can develop your own skill, of course. I'm giving you the base, which are the most efficient to me. And then after that, you are on your own. That's for the bell pepper. Okay. Let's cut an orange. That's what they look like. I was wondering what came first, the color orange or the orange? That's good to know. This guy, I'm going to go again to the edge of my board again. Now, you notice something, I always cut here. A lot of people I see, they cut far away from them. I don't understand why. First of all, you're bending your back, which is really bad. You want to stay straight. You want to cut right under you. Also, you do not want to work with the tip of the knife. Lots of people work with the tip. No, no, you want to work with right behind your hand, below your hand, I mean. This is different. This is a little bit of hard work. So I'm going to go and cut the top just like this. And I'm going to cut the bottom, okay? So now I can see all the good stuff that I need to remove. So I'm going to go to the edge of my board again. And I'm going to go away, and I'm going to start sewing, and you see the curve, the knife follows the curve of the orange, and you notice I'm always sewing, and I'm not pushing. There's no effort from the knife. Always the same grip, it doesn't matter. Just going to go around, and then you can clean it up entirely. So, as you can see, the importance of having a sharp knife, because you could not do that work if the knife was not sharp and, cutting. There's no way. So this is where good knives are important. Now, this is something I'm going to do. I'm going to go in my hand with a knife, which is always a bad idea except for these little guys, and I'm going to show you how to practice that. I need to do wedges. This is also called suprême. It's a French term. So first of all, I'm going to clean that all the way. Okay. Clean that up. Okay. And then I'm going to go in my hand. This is always a trick. Every time you go in your hand with a knife, you do not push in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run the knife just like this, and look what's going to happen. I have a membrane right here. I'm going to go and push very light. There's my hand under that. Now it's dripping on my table. I'm going to use a bowl and collect the juice. Go to the edge of the next membrane so that remove my little suprême. Go to the next. Make a sewing motion lightly. Don't push in. Move that membrane. Get to the next one. Sew very light. Okay. Next membrane. Actually, I'm going to remove this one. It's gone. Then cut this one. And keep doing the same thing. Push. Get that guy. Okay. This is collecting my juice. When I'm done, I'm just going to squeeze the juice. Let's say I make a little fennel salad with orange and feta, whatever. I can use that juice to make a dressing so I don't lose anything. So this is going to become a juicer. I'm going to juice that and keep that as a, and this is going to be for decoration. Cool? So I'm going to hold these guys. Now my hands are really dirty. This is why I carry, actually I'm going to start putting those away, okay? A wet towel so I can clean my hand. I can clean my board. I don't need to go away from my board. I can do all my knife skill and then go to cook, which is a good gain of time. The idea is this. Lots of people, they waste too much time running around the kitchen as they should be just sitting here preparing everything, and that's the way it works. Mise en place, get your cuts done, all your spices, all your everything, put everything away, everything that you don't need away, and then you start cooking. All right, the carrots. So the carrots, I use always organic carrots, so I don't peel them. If you want to peel them, you can go ahead, do whatever you want. I don't peel them because lots of nutrients live here, and I'll explain that to you later. To make a nice cut, what we're going to do is we're going to chop here. I'm going to show you how to chop, which is fun. To chop, the movement is really, you go up and down with a slice forward motion. And the idea of that is this guy. I'm going to do a roll cut. Roll cut is something pretty. I don't want to see that. I don't like to see that. I think it's ugly. That's me. I want to see pretty stuff. What you want to do is you're going to get your angle at 45 degrees. That blade is not moving angle. It's just going up and down at the same angle. I'm going to bring the carrot in, and you see I have an angle here. I'm going to chop. Roll, roll, chop, roll, chop, roll, chop. And you see how I'm going down the carrot. I'm going to get bigger pieces because it's a smaller item. Look at this guy. Awesome. So now what I have is a cool group of carrots that I can do for roast. I can put some type of meat on it, or I can pre-roast them and then put them out and then put a little bit of, chicken, bird, whatever I want on it. But it's cool because I have air circulation. Okay, and they look pretty. This is more organic. This would be, let's say, if I want to make a soup and I want to go very fast, I need to increase surface area, and that's going to be this. Now you see the difference between those two? This is going to cook really fast. Sorry. This is going to take forever to cook because the temperature has to reach the center of the piece. So in this guy, I can make a soup in maybe 20 minutes. This guy, I can make 45 minutes. Okay? Cool? All right, that's my cut. Then celery, very easy. I recommend you buy a bunch of celery and you practice your chopping. So the chopping is this. My fingers are going to be same idea. So I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but the idea is this. I'm going to grab my blade, my celery, I'm going to start chopping. I'm going to move away until I touch my thumb. At this point, I'm going to move back, and I'm going to move, and again. Stop, move back. My blade is still against my fingers. Stop. Stop. Move my fingers back. Keep my index in the front so it holds my blade away. You see? Now, you notice sometimes I don't look at my fingers or I don't look at my cutting. You need to look at it. I can do that because I can feel my knife. I know where it is. You guys don't. Don't do that. Okay? Cool. Now the idea about why you need to keep those fingers on your blade is this. I have complete control of my knife because it's on my fingers. I can completely angle. Doesn't matter where I am. I can do whatever I want because it's against my fingers. So what you want to do is you want to go slow first. And you can go too far, obviously, because you will cut. So you want to go, and I can do lots of different cuts. You see, I can do stir-fry cut. Now the stir-fry cut is this. It's increased surface area. This is not my favorite way of cooking, I tell you. But if something that if you're in a hurry to cook very, very fast, something you need to increase surface area, just like I showed you on the carrot. Okay? All right, so the celery is pretty easy. This is something you should buy and practice. Get a bunch of them. Go slow. Nobody goes fast. In my kitchen, I forbid any chef to cut fast. This is not a good idea. We are efficient, but not fast. So you can go, that's cool, but I don't want you to go faster than that because you're going to cut yourself. All right, let's cut a tomato. Actually, let's do a zucchini first. Okay, I want to do cubes here. The cubes I'm going to show you are, let's say, I would never cut the zucchinis like that. I'm going to show you actually the way I would cut it and the way you want to cut it for like training. I'm going to do dice. To get dice or cubes, I need to first get a slice. Once I get a slice or a wedge, a slice, then I need to get a stick and then a cube. And that's going to be for everything in the world. Slice, sticks, cubes. So I'm going to get my slice. This is okay. It's a little bit moving. I can do that. If I'm worried about this thing wobbling, I can cut a piece just like this. Leave it, and now it's very stable. And then I can start slicing. So to slice the big guy, I'm going to pull just like that. If I want to pull here, I can do that. It's a little bit against my finger. It would work. If I am worried about cutting my finger or if I don't feel comfortable, I'm going back to the edge of my board. And I'm going to start to cut and put my finger and slowly go and cut that wedge. Okay? Do not cut like this. This is a really terrible idea. You need to be able to figure out by holding your blade flat and going up and just slice and just go slow. And you see how I'm going slow and the movement? I'm not forcing. You can't do that. You have to run your knife. And that's easy. You can do that. You can keep it or not keep it. Now at this point I'm going to slice. I'm going to get those sticks and cubes. So I was starting to tell you earlier that sometimes I slice, I pull, sometimes I go forward. It's up to you. Sometimes the guy is very long. I can't go forward, it's too long. I'm just going to pull. Plus, sometimes I feel like I just want to pull. Doesn't matter. This is a much shorter stroke. I can go forward. You see? It's forward like this, like a little train. So the way you want to do that is this. The tip does not leave the table. It's rolling like a train, literally. And that's it. You don't stroke like this. It's not a good idea. I always want my student to go forward and make a nice cut, because when you do that, you want to make sure that thing is cut. And we're gonna see that with herbs. It's really important that you do the stroke. Let's go with, I'm going to try the mango. The mango is a little hard, but we'll see. If it doesn't work, so the mango has a bone that is really thin right here. I can see the line. So I can cut right there. Okay? All right, I can, perfect. It's a little hard, so I'll show you what I do. I've seen a lot of cool trick on TV when you take the glass and you run that thing and it kills the skin away. I like the trick, except what I don't like about that trick is it's glass we're talking about. And I hate to see a hand go on the glass where the glass can break, because you don't want any glass in there, because that's it for the end. So let's do another simple, way more safe. First of all, I'm going to put my zucchinis away. The way I do that is I'm going to cut this in two, and I'm going to go to the edge of my board again. You see how many times I do that? A lot. Okay? Because I want to be able to have my handle away from my board so I can do really cool stuff here. I'm going to go and I'm going to start to slice and see if I can just sew that, and cool. And the only thing I have left is that. I'm just going to run my blade just like this. And then I'm going to do sliced. And then little dice or cubes. Cool. To show you the importance of the flat cut, I can keep going in there to show you how easy, and this is a good training for you guys. You see what I do? I can still put my finger in the back if it's too hard. I can peel. I can keep peeling. This mango is really tough, but normally you can go slice through anything like this. This is how it works. Can I, 10 more minutes. Let's do, I'm going to do the herbs. I want to do the herbs. This is very important. This is going to go tomato, apple. Good. The tomato will do it later. It's not a big deal. Okay. Apple. Same as the bell pepper. There's a core in the middle. I'm going to cut right around the core. You see that? Boom. Here. And here. Gone. I want to do slice or nice apple tart. Now I don't have this ugly hole. I'm going to do something really cool. So I'm going to slice. Keep that. When you slice for sliced apple, you're going to keep those if I want to make something pretty. This is cool. It can become a little cheese, whatever. Okay, you can put them like this. You can do a little whatever thing for your cheese plate. Awesome. Looks cool. Okay, this is very easy to do. If I want to do something for a salad, remember the edge of the board. We're going back again over there. I'm going to slice that. Okay, just like this. Coming back, cut down in two, keep all together, and then I'm going to do, and what I'm getting now is little guys. Those are awesome for salads, little soup that you want to make something special, but for salad, fruit, anything like this, okay? This guy, same idea, cut the top, okay? And you see, I'm always sewing, now it's stuck now. No forcing. Just put your hand here and kind of pull that gently. Snap this guy. Don't thrust in there with a knife. This is not a good idea. And then I can do, okay? This I want to make something very, very thin for something super pretty. Okay? And now I have a lot of little guys that are really cool, you see? So you see all the stuff I can do just by angling my knife differently, okay? The tomato, all depends what you want to do. The idea is this. There's a bunch of water in there. So let's say I want to get the water out, or if I want to do pomodoro, one of those things. I need to cut the tomato right here in the middle, not here, but right here. What's happening now is I've exposed the chambers, and I can literally do this. Don't forget the noise, very important. And you see everything is going now. Just dump that. And now it's all cleaned up. Cool. I can come back. Remember that horizontal cut, edge of the board. Slice. Oh yeah, and you need a sharp knife, obviously. Okay? Now, you can see that knife is really cool. Why is that? It can cut through a tomato, which I tell you, this is a trick. Very cool here. And now look. Diced tomatoes, awesome. Cool? Now clean up. Cool. I'm going to dump those away a little bit, make some cleanup. If you have a bunch of vegetables like this, don't throw them away, make a big soup. Okay, nothing complicated. Just dump everything, put some liquid, stock, whatever, herbs, cook it down, boom, you have a soup. Okay, don't throw out anything. Let me show you a little trick with the tomato. This is something actually I do a lot. Okay, those tomatoes are a pain in the butt. Okay, just like all these guys. The plate trick works really well. Okay, I've done that for years. It's super easy. You can't cut yourself, and you go fast. Put all those tomatoes in there. Okay, and then boom, ready, done. I can prove it. All cut. Okay, they're all cut. So when you have small guys, it's perfect because that's one way to do those tomatoes really fast. Okay. You can do grapes, all kind of things like that. Because I tell you, when you have a whole lot of little tomatoes and you have to cut them one by one, it's a pain in the butt, and it takes forever. Okay? All right. I'm going to do the garlic, and then we're going to do the herbs. Cool? All right. Garlic. Dry towel. Take this guy. First of all, he can't smell. If it smells, you can't take it. If it smells, that means the cell walls are already leaching the garlic oil. That means the guy is old. Okay, I don't want it to smell anything. I'm going to tap lightly. I can move. I hope that's not my finger. Cool. The best way to keep garlic, the way I do it, is all separated. Make sure they don't leach, don't crush them too much. And I keep them just like that in the fridge, just like this. No plastic, none of that. Just let it like this and pick whatever you need. Okay? Now, when you work with wet stuff, it's like glue, okay? So you have to be very careful with the garlic because it's going to stick on your hand very fast. So you need that guy, very important, okay? And then you're going to put that away. I'm going to dump this later. I'll take care of it later, don't worry. Garlic, 2 ways of cutting. I want to remove that, see that? That's why my wet towel is awesome, because I can work here. I don't need to run to the sink and waste time. I'm going to get my blade and then go to the edge of the board again. See, I always do that. My handle needs to be away. That's why I'm doing this. I can't smash my garlic here with that angle. I'm going to break my blade. Go here. Light tap. Light. Done. There's a crack. Take the tip. Boom. Do it again. Light. Okay. Boom. Get rid of that. Keep that tip in your hand. And the guy just, okay? It doesn't work always like this. So it seems easy because I do it all the time. It's just a trick. Slicing. Okay, small claw. It's against my fingers. You see that? Rolling motion. Forward motion. I can chop also if I want to. That's fine. Okay, and then I can mince. In order to mince garlic or herbs, I want to put my 5 fingers here and hold my knife gently and stop mincing. As much as I want. I do not want you to keep that blade with your fingers to pinch it. Don't do that. I want to see the 5 fingers and I want to chop like this. Then I don't have to worry about it. Then you chop or you mince as much as you want. It doesn't matter. Okay? Then to clean your, of course I'm using that. Get my garlic away. Clean my knife. If your hands smell like garlic, I don't care personally. This is made, I'm sure, of high carbon stainless. So what you want to do is you want to go to your sink, run the water, touch that, and the garlic is going to start smelling on your fingers. What happens is there's a lot of sulfur compound in the garlic, and in there's a lot of nickel, and that sulfur is going to jump on the nickel, and it's going to go away. So the flavor is going to be gone. That's why they sell those stupid soap. Just use any stainless steel, whatever, and go to your sink. The next one I want to show you is the smashing of the garlic. This is really cool. I'm going to need my salt, which is right here. I'm going to make a garlic paste. Away from your board. Open hand. Okay? Little salt. And I'm going to pull. Can you see? Can you hear the noise? That's because I put salt. Now I have a little bit of a grater, like an abrasive. See that? Now I'm going to pick up my garlic and dump it wherever. So I can't cook that. It's too smashed. This is for last minute. If I cook something cool and I want to throw my garlic, I put it last minute. All right, let's go into herbs. Very important. Cilantro, parsley, mint. This is one cut, this is another cut. The idea is this. Cilantro, parsley, same family. I'll go over the family a little bit later if I have time. Right now we're just going to do on the cutting. Okay? This cilantro and the parsley are very different. Parsley, this one is a curly parsley, so of course you can see, you see the difference. Most of the time people are confused with the parsley, the flat parsley. Flat parsley, the difference with this guy is this, is parsley is pointy, and you can feel, and the leaves are very pointy. The cilantro is rounded, okay? So you can feel them, very supple. For the parsley, all I need to do is get the leaves out. To do that, there's a lot of tricks. You can do the back of your blade, You can do that part also. I've seen this is, they all work, okay? All those methods work very well. You want to make sure that you don't eat those. If there's a little bit, don't worry about it. And what you want to do at this point, the parsley, you want to get it into your hand, make a little ball in your hand, and we're going to do a tiny claw. And I'm going to slice one time, and one chop one time. One time only. Why is that? There's a lot of nutrients in those guys. I want to keep them. I don't want to end up in the table. So I see those chefs going really fine. That's for presentation only. There's no more nutrients in those herbs. And those herbs are magnificent. I want to keep it. Make sure you keep your table clean, guys, because this is kind of important. You see my towel, I'm going to refold it the other way. That's fine. And I'm going to get that and clean as I go. So I keep my table really clean, you see? Whoa. The cilantro is a whole different thing. Very easy. Take that guy, remove the bottom, whatever was rubbing the basket or get dirty. And because there's more flavor in the stem and the root, we're going to fold. You can fold again if you want to. Slice gently. One time, chop. Done. That's all. I don't want to see any moisture on the table or any nutrients lost. The last thing I'm going to do is the mint. Cool. Mint are flat leaves. What would be the other flat leaf like this? Sage, basil, obviously. This cannot be chopped. There's too much nutrients, too much liquid in there. If you chop those herbs, they're going to darken, blacken, and they're going to basically become terrible, horrible look, and they won't even taste good. So what you want to do is you want to pick up the leaves, all like this, and you want to pile them up just like you roll a little cigarette. It's not a cigarette or anything else. It's just that. And then we're going to roll that, I don't know if you can see, very tight without bruising. And I'm going to make some long stroke. Now look how gentle I am. This is really important because I want that to be super pretty. What's happening now is if I do that with basil or anything, I can have a very pretty little decoration. So if I want to do like, I don't know, melimato, some little fresh cheese with a little honey and mint, that would be the one. I want to do tomato mozzarella. I want to do something with mozzarella, a little chiffonade. That's a chiffonade. That would be, and that basil would stay really pretty and green because I sliced through the fibers instead of chopping and destroying those edges. Okay, so I'm done with the canning. I want to talk about herbs in a minute, but I don't know what's your timing. So
we have some questions from the community.
Keep them.
The first of which is, what do you do with rosemary and thyme?
Well, if you show me, if you get me some rosemary, I'll. Okay. What's in the thing over there, right here?
Looks like oregano.
Can you bring me everything? Okay. Bring me the whole thing. Might be some. Is there rosemary in there? All right. So, okay. Those herbs. So let me talk about herbs. It's really important. Actually, herbs are a key element in cooking, obviously. Cilantro, parsley, they all belong to the same family, carrot family. Everything that smells, all of them, mint. Okay, it's easy. It's either the smell, mint family, that would be oregano, mint, lavender, all these guys, rosemary. Their nutrients are hosted on the back of the leaf a lot of time, and you can smell them. This is, nutrients are inside the leaves. So let's see, I have an old piece of oregano here, which I'm drying them. I'm just leaving them just like this. Rosemary is the tough one because it's very hard. Oh, look at that. That's the young plant, old plant. How do I know it's tough? That's a big trunk. This is soft. So I'm going to get my rosemary about where it starts to be soft. I'm going to pull up. That's the tender part. I can cut that. And the rosemary is the only herb that I'm going to ask you to chop really hard. You see the difference? My whole hand is on the knife. All the other herbs, I'm kind of light. This one has to be chopped. This is almost like a bush. It needs to be chopped really fine because it's a strong flavor. Now, I'm going to keep going, keep going. This is the only herb that you do that with because it's a very resilient herb. Anything else, one little chop, very light, okay? And this is, I'm going to go and chop, 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 chop as they go. You see? And keep doing as a powder. Boom. Cool? This is oregano. Very simple. Just like this. Light chop again. We're back to light chop. Okay? Rosemary is the only one I'm going to go at it. Yeah? Cool.
We have one more question. What if you don't have a whole table edge that you use as a board? If you only have an 8 to 10 inch chopping board?
Fine. That doesn't matter. Do you have your board? All your boards around, make sure you dump everything and you don't leave anything on your table. It's not a problem. Tools are not going to make you a chef. Confidence is going to make you a chef. So confidence is touching the blade and then touching hot stuff when they cook. And that starts here. You need to gain that confidence and then you feel comfortable. And then you start to think of other things. So I don't care how big the board is. If you have a small board, make sure you have a lot of boards around and nothing stay on the board. And if we have vegetables, dump it into the board.
Those are all the questions we have. So if you have anything else you want to share?
Cool. All right. So for the herbs, so let me talk about something. I was starting by, at the beginning, I was saying that the vegetable has to be fresh, and the most critical part of America's diet is we deal with old vegetables. Now, all vegetables are dead. When I pick up something and I put it in a bag, I told you at the beginning, I said that there is moisture in the bag. So this is important to understand. Those are alive. We need alive food in order to be alive. This is very simple, okay? More dead food you eat and least amount of years you're going to add to your life. Basically, dead food is processed food, anything that comes with a picture. I don't need a picture that tells me this is mint. And I don't care. It's herb. I can take any herb. They're all good for me. Now, when I take a carrot that's very new like this one, I can hear it. An old carrot is going to bend like crazy. What's happening is this. Those are called slow breather. So basically, they all breathe. They're alive. They breathe, literally. Those are fast breathers. Roseberries, for example, are extremely fast breather. This is very slow breather. Onions are slow breather. Apples are slow breather. That means slow breather means that they cook long and they keep long. Fast breather, they cook fast and they keep really very little. That's pretty much what it is. So by filling my vegetables, I know how long I'm going to cook them and I know how long I can keep them. So this guy is very new, I can tell. As they melt, the pectin is the glue that holds the fibers together. It melts with time and the carrot become all lumpy and stuff. So I keep those to make stock. Okay? In meat, it's the same thing. The collagen is the glue that holds the fibers together. Now, on these guys, those are very new. They're really good stuff. And the fresher the food is, the more nutrients I'm getting, because basically as soon as you pick up the food, it breathes out nutrients, but because it's cut out from this nutrient supply, there's no more food coming in. So it's just a loss. Okay? So I like to buy farmers market or market that are really fresh, and I can tell by looking at the colors. So it is very important to look add something very, very bright all the time. It doesn't matter what color, it has to be bright. And the green is specifically, no yellow in my green, okay? Cool. Kitchen, yeah. So I'm here at Kitchen on Fire. This is our kitchen. We have 2 kitchens, and we do those all the time. I just finished a teen camp last week that was really cool. Teach little kids how to cook, and that was really amazing. The kids are pretty amazing. They love to smell stuff. And it's funny because the adults are not as attracted. So the kids, they love to smell. And it's very important to understand that when I chop through something like rosemary, for example, someone was asking me about rosemary. When I chop the rosemary and I smell that rosemary, those nutrients I'm smelling, they are going into my bloodstream. You need to understand that. Whatever you smell is going into your blood. So when you come into that kitchen, you don't smell like 409 and bleach and all kind of stuff like this, because I don't want that. I'm going to clean my table with vinegar, salt, special soap that we have here, non-toxic. I don't want anything in my blood that doesn't belong here. Rosemary, it belongs to my blood, yes. So when I smell stuff like this, they don't break down. They go into your blood and start to do stuff. So I chop basil. Ah, cool, awesome, it feels good. I chop a bunch of herbs, it smells good. So my kitchen becomes very cool, and it's a therapeutic time for me. Cutting, for most chefs, not in a restaurant, at home, it's the way to like zen, relax, having a good time. And I can teach you all this stuff at Kitchen on Fire. We have a lot of cool chefs. This is located in the Gourmet Ghetto in Berkeley. It's really fun. We have 2 kitchens now. We do a lot of classes, lots of team buildings, and we do a lot of health talk with my business partner, Lisa. She's not here today. But we do work with a lot of hospitals and doctors, and we teach a lot of health and nutrition and good vegetables, really. There's nothing complicated. It's all about eating properly and having a good knife. Yeah. So good knife, very happy, awesome, feels good in your hand, and you can throw it away. Cool. All right. You guys, awesome.